For you listeners, it's probably been a few weeks, but for us, the news is still very fresh. It's only been a few days. The death of a public figure is a time for us all to reflect and just to be a little bit somber. Like, we like to have fun on Kill James Bond, but the death of someone who's touched all of our lives in a major way, and who was certainly like not an uncontroversial figure, but whose loss really is going to be felt, and really the world is never going to be the same without him. So just at the top of the episode, I wanted to take a moment to send an official Kill James Bond condolences to the family of the rapper DMX, gone, but still in our hearts. But the good news is that Prince Philip is also fucking dead.
Lol.
Fucking dead.
Oh, he's fucking gone, pal. And he's in hell as well. Like, we can just say that on the record. My man's in fucking hell.
Yeah, he's in hell because he denied Islam. No, I mean, genuinely, right?
I actually heard that he had converted moments before he died. He said he finally saw the light of Islam, repented and said the full Shahada.
Mashallah. We're beginning Ramadan with...
Ashhadu an la Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Dev, that counts. That counts. We're taking it.
No, wait, fuck!
To begin with, I was born without earlobes.
Yeah. Welcome back to Season 2, the first episode of Season 2 of Kill James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
We're done with that Connery shit.
Yeah.
Very short season.
Bam, gone. Never to return, as far as I'm aware. Haven't checked.
New year, new me, new Bond, new 2/3 Muslim podcast. we're all set to do on Her Majesty's Secret Service and get a Bond that's going to take us right through the 1970s.
Yeah.
We future-proofed James Bond.
Finally, we're in that fucking George Lads on Tour era of James Bond. We had the Lazenby himself. Let's fucking go. I'm so ready for the several films that this guy does.
So Sean Connery wanted $1 million. Well, first of all, he didn't want to play Bond anymore because paparazzi. But then, to try and induce him to do this, they were like, "Okay, how much money do you want to do another Bond movie?" And he was like, "Fuck it, $1 million, $1 million. You're not going to pay me that." And he was right. They didn't. They got another guy, and the guy, they got an Australian model called George Lazenby, or possibly Lazenby. We're not going to be arguing about how that's pronounced because I don't know. And like, they screen tested him, and in the course of screen testing him, 2 incidents happened. First of all, he broke a guy's nose because he didn't know how to pull a punch. So they got him into screen test.
School of screen fighting.
Yeah, no, he imposed a method acting on that guy because they got him to screen test, and they were like, "Okay, like stage punch this henchman," and he's like, I don't know what stage punching is. I'm going to assume you mean punch this man as hard as I physically can.
Well, I'm on
the
stage, so better punch this motherfucker.
Any punch that I do is a stage punch. And so he broke this guy's nose. And instead of being like, holy shit, you just broke that guy's nose, they're like, that's incredible. That's exactly the kind of aggression that we want.
They were like, holy shit, that's a stage punch and you broke his nose? I can't imagine what a real one would be like.
Instead of taking this as an obvious sign that George Lazenby cannot act.
They're like, no, fuck, this guy's incredible. So they try to get him back, and George Lazenby does something that no other actor has ever done in Bond. He's like, he gets the call back, and they're like, hey, we're interested in you playing James Bond. And he says, yeah, I'm kind of busy right now, to be honest. I'm filming a thing in Paris. He was not in Paris. He was not filming a thing.
He's like negging them. He's like, yeah, I've seen this script on like 5 other girls tonight. It's really good.
Yeah. And so they're so keen on his first screen test that they're like, all right, fuck it. How much are you being paid? He says, 500 quid a day. Again, he was not being paid for anything. And they say, fine, we will pay you your fee for whatever it is that you're currently recording. We'll pay you 500 quid a day to come back and screen test for us again. Just getting paid to audition.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. That is the kind of big dick energy that George Lazenby carries into the Bond movies.
Dude's rock.
And he got it. He got the role.
Yeah.
He did. He got the role. And
he had no acting experience.
Nope. He the last big role that he had before this, he had done ads for a chocolate company, Fry's. Right. He, modeling, things like that.
He had no acting experience before this film, and he had none afterwards as well.
Oh fuck, we'll get to that.
He straight up bluffed his what he did was he got a haircut to look like Sean Connery's Bond. He bought a Rolex.
He stole one of Sean Connery's suits.
Yeah, a suit that Sean Connery had ordered but didn't collect. Got a Rolex, got a haircut, walked into a meeting with the producers,
broke a guy's
Broccoli
nose,
and Saltzman, and the director Peter Hunt, and said he just bluffed his way through it. Claimed he had wide acting credits. He secured a screen test, and then he was like, "Yo, I have fucking lied 100% of that." He said that to a director, and the director was like, "Buddy, you just fucking walked in here and fooled two of the most ruthless bastards in the business." His words. You are an actor. So just a king, start to finish.
That's cool. That's cool as hell. Nowadays, you can't do that kind of thing anymore. But anyway, let's start. Let's begin.
Have you tried breaking anybody's nose in the case of...
how many noses have you broken during your screen tests?
I have actually broken somebody's nose once, but it was not in the course of acting.
Fair enough.
It's in my misspent youth.
We start with Q and M being like, well, whenever any time Bond is not on screen, people are always asking, where's Bond? And we don't know. Where's he got to? We've asked everywhere. He's not in Amsterdam. He's not in Cairo. He's just kind of fucked off for a bit for reasons that remain unexplained. And where he actually is in Portugal, just driving around because, I don't know. And in the course of doing that, a woman in a much faster car overtakes him and then tries to kill herself by walking into the sea. And our first shot of this new Bond is he lights up a cigarette in the car, he watches her for a bit, and when he realizes that she's going to try and kill herself, he does something heroic, which is not very Connery-like at all. He's like, shit, I've got to go and do something. And so he fucking runs across this beach to try and pick her up and carry her out of the water.
And he does. He saves her life.
Yeah, he does. And for his pains, he gets to try to drop the thing.
Good morning. My name's Bond. James Bond. Miss,
Don't move, Mr. Bond.
And three big guys try and kill him. I mean, I like this a lot.
I don't know where they came from.
No, they just followed him there.
Beach. No, it's a good opening. I'm going to say this a few times, but they're very much trying to make this a departure from Connery's Bond, and they do that in his opening thing is he's getting overtaken by a woman, which is cuck shit, so Connery never would have done that. And then he tries to save a woman's life, which is also cuck shit.
He smiles. Yeah. He smiles when he says, "Hello, my name's James Bond."
He's genuinely nice to Diana Rigg's character.
This will become a problem later.
Yes. All of the strongest parts of this movie are just where they kind of take it on faith that this guy can do the Bond thing. All of the weakest parts, and we see this pretty much from the next moment on, because he fights off these guys. Fine, easy, whatever. And then we get the credit sequence.
The editing is appalling.
Oh, it's all in fast motion, bunch of weird cuts. But the credit sequence for this, right, is a series of clips from previous James Bond movies. That's like, yo, you remember this shit? You remember Goldfinger? You remember Dr. No? You remember Blofeld? No. And it's like, yeah, okay, fine. But if you just had the confidence, because he kind of pulls it off in the first scene. All you need to do is show him in the tuxedo, play the Bond theme once, and you're just like, yeah, okay, that's James fucking Bond. He's a new guy. But instead, every so often, they get a bit scared doing that. And they have to tell you how cool he is.
Okay.
And it just falls.
Two things I want to bring up here. One of them is the thing I wanted to bring up beforehand. But now just saying that, there's something else. All the previous posters for the Connery Bond movies all said some shit like Sean Connery is James Bond in Thunderball or whatever.
Big Sean Connery face on the poster.
They weren't as confident about their main guy, so it just said James Bond is back in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Like they didn't
uncredited is James Bond. Some of them didn't show his face. Some of the posters did not show George Lazenby's face.
Oh, come off it.
I mean, genuinely, that's so fucking sad, right? It's like the Duff calendar with the sticker over Moe's face. But he does get to put his stamp on it, right? Because in his first scene, he breaks the fourth wall, and he says,
This never happened to the other fella.
and it's a fucking good line, right?
It's nice.
We'll talk about the sort of varying levels of camp of the James Bond franchise, but for me, this is pitched at about the right sort of level, where it's sort of slyly breaking the fourth wall, and it's like, yeah, no, it's a new guy, and you know that, and we know that you know that, but like, we're prepared to not take ourselves deadly seriously, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, the fight scene that you correctly surmised is atrociously edited.
They're all like this.
They're all pretty bad. Because like they're cutting on impact. They're cutting with like no shot consistency. Bond will be on the ground, and then it cuts to him just being stood up punching a guy, and he falls over every time he punches someone. I don't know what was going on there. If he just had like a bad balance that day, but every single time he lands a punch,
it's got an inner ear infection.
Through with his entire body. And
he really broke all their noses.
And I was like, fuck, maybe this was a choice. I was in the bargaining phase here. I was like, maybe this was a fucking choice. Maybe they were trying to paint it as like a frantic fight.
Yeah, maybe they meant to do that.
No,
they didn't.
No,
Reader, they did not mean to do that. What it is it's the case of like, we know Sean Connery had a light attack, a heavy attack, and a grapple. They've moved his sort of move set onto a new character model, and it doesn't quite work as well.
Yeah, the rigging's a little bit off. He's
so Bond, still essentially just like on vacation, working for himself at this point, drives to the nearest casino and decides to sort of make a spectacle of himself. And we get our other big sort of first point of difference, that this is not the Bond that we previously know, because he's wearing a tuxedo with a ruffled shirt too.
Oh, it looks good
and
on
it's
him
like,
as well, actually.
60s, baby!
All of Lazenby's fits in this movie are atrocious. He
looks terrible.
There's an action sequence later on where he just spends half of it fully walking around in a cardigan. It's...
There are some nice touches in this scene that I'd like to bring up as for the acting. One is that when somebody in the casino brings him a drink, he looks at them and he smiles. And like he's saying thank you to them silently. It's a nice little moment. Like, again, this is a nicer Bond. And also, I want to talk about George Lazenby's walk. And I'm going to flag this up 3 times. This is number 1.
He's a model.
When he walks into the casino, he's a model. When he walks into the casino, he's relaxed. He's got a bit of a swagger in his hip. He's moving around a bit. He's got more of a sway than Connery does. And it's a really, really strong character choice, because it shows us that this Bond is a little bit less tense. He's a little bit more chill. He's a little bit more fun. I made a note of it. It's a nice little character choice. I really enjoyed it. It's gonna come back.
There was also a fun editing thing that I pulled up, in that he's shown to his room, and then he looks out the window and looks at like the pool in the I don't know, back of the hotel, whatever that bit's called. And like he just looks at the pool, and then like the word casino flashes up in massive letters in the pool, and then it transitions to the casino. And I don't know, I thought that was fun.
They do a couple of editing things like this, and it's interesting. The director of this, Peter Hunt, he had edited a bunch of the previous Bond movies, and every time he had done that, he had been bugging the leads to be like, hey, can I direct one of these? Can I direct one of these? Can I direct one?
I can do this better than you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they finally gave him one, and it was the only Lazenby one, and he never did another one. So this is not.
It's weird you bring that up because the editing in this is fucking dog shit. Like, it's really
That's why
bad.
they needed Peter Hunt as editor as soon as he starts directing.
The scene to scene and even the line to line editing is awful. Like,
all right, so Bond is gambling. Bond is playing Chemin de Fer, which is his game, as we know. And
That's our boy.
another sort of commonality, going back to Sylvia Trench in the first scene of Doctor No, they went back to that well for how do we introduce a Bond, is we find a woman who is as big of a gambler as him, the woman from the beach, Tracy, puts, she essentially goes all in and then loses, which you never see Bond doing, which is funny, but like, it sets up the gambling thing. She loses everything and then says to the guy, "Oh yeah, I can't pay this. I don't have any money."
the groupie is just like, sorry, what was that?
She's like,
she's
what?
No,
I'm sorry,
this is. I'm fucking fresh out.
She's like, no, I just did that because I'm the damn Joker, and I think that's funny.
she's self-destructive. That's her character trait.
Mhm.
It's
And
her
so
character trait in
Bond-
the singular. Correct.
Yeah, and so the problem once again with George Lazenby as Bond comes back, which is that the script is written for Connery, but somebody keeps creeping into the scenes and turning the big sociopath switch on the back of his head to off. Is like he does some chivalry and some genuine altruism. He's like, oh yeah, I'll pay for her, and he like tosses the sort of 20,000 francs worth of plaques on the table.
And he does it in a way that saves her face as well. He says, "Oh yes, madam, yes, we were going to be partners tonight. I'm sorry, I forgot." Like, he doesn't do it the way Connery would have done. Just be like, "Oh yeah, like bitch, I'll pay your bills." Like,
Yeah.
he does it in a way that like makes her, saves her reputation, which is nice.
The
of him.
Connery vibe here would be, I have now helped you out, sex please, right? And because the script is still heading in that direction, he buys her a drink, a bottle of champagne, and like they go to her hotel room, but it feels much different at
It's not
this
as
point.
transactional as a Connery interaction.
You get
is.
and half of it is because Diana Rigg is a genuinely extremely talented actor,
I'm going to be
and so
gushing about
she's carrying this whole movie, every scene she's in, but genuinely she manages to sell that as these are two people who are, if nothing else, intrigued by each other.
There's something else in that scene that I didn't realize was missing until it came up, is just like diegetic dialogue. Like, there are people in that scene that aren't Bond or the person he's directly interacting with who just have lines. Like, other people at the table start commenting on shit. And it's like, I hadn't realized that before now, just this was a world populated by like 3 guys and 100 extras.
It's like a stage play when no one who isn't the main character speaks.
I mean, it kind of has been, but like when he bails out this. No. Okay, first one is the pot gets a bit too rich for one guy, and he turns to Bond and just goes like, "Too rich for my blood." And it's like, oh, someone's talking to me. Someone's actually saying things to our character.
Yeah, because Lazenby plays a guy who you would like want to talk to.
He's like
as
much
opposed
more
to
approachable.
Yeah.
As a Bond. And then when he bails out Tracy, the lass at the table, this elderly lass, is just like, oh, wish someone would do that for me. It was just nice.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
But unfortunately, we do have to get through another awfully edited fight scene, because Bond goes to her room, and the classic archetype of the slightly bigger guy who tries to beat the shit out of him shows up, making a returning appearance from You Only Live Twice, when the guy in the office tried to do this. They have a fight in the hotel room. They wreck the hotel room, and then this was a weird bit, right? On the way out, he steals some. He had some caviar sent up earlier for like sex reasons, and on the way out, he grabs some of that caviar and he helps himself, and he says, "Oh, Royal Beluga, north of the Caspian," which is like. That's a great shitty Bond line of like pretending you know something really specific about a luxury good, like sushi at the perfect temperature, 39.4 degrees. But like What it is it's a pastiche of two different Connery moments. It's that, and there's a bit in Thunderball which is genuinely so good it might have been ad-libbed, where he's like breaking into Count Lippy's room and having found nothing, he steals a grape off of a bunch on a table on his way out. And so it just kind of falls a bit flat here. And it's interesting because I think Lazenby's stronger when he's not being forced to try and fill Connery's shoes that way.
The other reason that falls flat as a moment is that George Lazenby doesn't say that line. It's clearly like overdubbed over footage of him walking down the corridor afterwards, and his mouth isn't moving in any way. So it feels
and also he's still chewing. He's not like...
Yeah, there's a lot of weird ADR. But speaking of the walk, this is walk moment number 2. He's just had the fight scene, like a big, high-energy fight, but as he walks out of the room, he's doing that stroll, the Lazenby stroll again. He's very relaxed. Again, a very strong character choice. It tells us this Bond is in control. I made another little note of it here. Lovely bit of acting there.
Mm-hmm. He's good at walking. He's a good walker. And, like, this is the thing... People, like, Lazenby gets a lot of stick for being a bad actor, and sure, fine, whatever. But, like, one thing I think we've identified is that playing James Bond really does not require you to act. And the ways in which...
Hold that thought.
Well, we've had set up and reminder. I can't imagine there'll be a payoff. Anyway.
All right, I'll circle back to that.
Yeah,
because first we have to. We got to talk about the soul moment that gets this movie the M on the scum scale.
Yeah,
the clearly just written for Connery.
Yeah.
Hey, I found a guy in your hotel room and he tried to kill me. What's up with that? Is the upshot of that conversation. But the way that it happens is...
Let's stop playing games. Who was that man in your room?
You're hurting me.
I thought that was the idea of tonight.
Now, who was he?
Now...
Oh, I hate that shit so hard.
It's an interesting line, right? Because there's so fucking much to dig into here. The way in which Lazenby is, like, portrayed as sexual is... It's kind of stronger than Connery's. In some ways, like I've written down here that he's like a fucking Tumblr daddy dom in most of this movie.
Fuck, god damn it.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's in great shape. It's better than Connery was.
He's
he's got a great bod. Weird face. But...
Connery's whole thing was like brutality, but only brutality. Whereas with Lazenby, there is something more seductive to it, which maybe makes this scene more pernicious. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah,
but
he does have an incredible line shortly after this, which Connery would never say.
They flick the big sociopath switch off again because they have sex, right? And it's actually less coercive than that drop would suggest. Like it really abruptly changes into sex scene, and then she says that...
No, it's that they're about to have sex.
Oh, you're right.
She's like, I want to have sex with you. And he has this amazing line where he says, you don't owe me a thing. I think you're in some sort of trouble. Would you like to talk about it? And I was like, did James Bond just say that?
Yeah, we got woke James Bond. Like... Gonna do a land acknowledgement.
Yeah, wife guy Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very emotionally confused because it's suddenly we've shifted gears from like violence a second ago. But it's still like an excellent line, and Lazenby delivers it nicely.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I mean, well, they do in fact have sex, and Lazenby wakes up alone to find that she has taken his gun, which is very funny. But she has left him the 2 plaques of like 20,000 francs to pay off her debt to him, even though he has told her. You don't have to do that.
And now also, to me, there's 2 things here. Because first of all, I have a timer that we still haven't decided on a name for, but
yeah, an acceptable name
anyway,
for.
PC, baby, pussy clock. First time a femme fatale has sex with James Bond. We talk about this because it's important to see how these Bonds treat women, but also because it's It's just fun to have a number, isn't it?
Yeah,
Tracy's
numbers
is 16 minutes and 10 seconds.
That's a long time for Bond.
I think it's
It's
probably
a long time in Bond years.
one of the longest, I think. If it might not even be
I think
the
it might even be the longest.
Which, again,
I
tells
think
us
2
something.
minutes and 40 is still the record.
Oh yeah, no, people aren't going to come close to that for some time. I think.
Yeah.
God, I hope. Well, now that Connery's
233.
233. Who was that? That was the
That was Jill Masterson.
Jill Masterson. Yep. And it's interesting because that's a departure again from Connery. This is a Bond who isn't treating this sex as transactional in any way, and that's proven because her debt is also just paid off with the actual money, which proves that she isn't seeing the sex as the way she was paying it off. Maybe that was just something she also wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's a nice little character moment.
There's a lot in this movie about Bond as like an object of female desire, which was never really in Connery, I don't think. Like, maybe women wanted to fuck him, but that was never important. The important thing about the sexuality in Connery movies is that he takes what he wants, right? And it's far more obvious in this movie because every woman is looking at him like, holy shit, have you seen this guy? Have you seen the way he walks?
Right. Bond in the Connery films, all of which are over, he's never pursued by a woman, but
there's a bit genuinely, and this is also about standing, cousin to walking, where before they are about to have sex, that's a normal thing to say, shut up.
No, it's fine, it's good.
Before they're about to have sex, right, before he even gives her this line about, wondering if she's in trouble and if she needs help, he stands against the door frame in the room where she is, and I wrote this down, he's standing like a Bond girl. He's got his hips out to one side and he's like leaning on the door frame, and it's like, no, that's the way that someone stands in these movies when Bond is about to fuck them. You can't have him stand like that. That's interesting to me.
Hell yeah.
I love Lazenby so much in this movie, honestly.
Absolutely.
Which is a weird thing to say when we're talking about a scene that started with him just like hitting a woman, but that's, I don't know. The script takes
in the morning,
turns.
Bond is immediately kidnapped.
Yeah, classic move.
Classic Bond moment.
Yeah, two guys come up to him in the lobby, and one of them's like, "You have dropped something." He's like, "Have I?" And he points behind him, and the second guy is just holding a gun behind a newspaper in a crowded lobby.
It's very much just a hello, sir. Yeah, would you like to come this way towards your kidnapping? Can I interest you
in a kidnapping?
It's like, oh, go on then. Let's go.
Yeah, they put him in a car. A guy puts a knife to his ribs, and they take him to meet Marc-Ange Draco.
Well,
but just before that, James Bond has been kidnapped at gunpoint and then at knife point. Yep. And we are walking into this unknown building to meet, who knows?
Oh, is this going to be another walking
very possibly,
thing?
This is the payoff. Very possibly in order to be killed. This is like a tense scene. And George Lazenby is strolling casually along at knife point. And it's at this point that I realize this is not a character decision. This is happening because George Lazenby cannot act. And this is just the way that he walks in real life. And that occasionally the stopped clock of George Lazenby's acting tells the right time. But when he tries to be nice, when he has to be casual and relaxed, it works great. But as soon as he has to do any kind of like violence or aggression or like manly Connery shit, it's fucking dire. And this is the moment where I'm like, oh my god, this man isn't acting at all. We're just getting pure, unfiltered Lazenby all over the screen.
Oh, Lays on tour. He's just walking. He's about to be fucking shot in the back of the head or some shit, but he is sauntering his way down there. He's swinging his hips.
I have a broader point about Lazenby here and Bond that I think I'm going to come to at the end. But it's also walking related. And there is another nice little touch, which is as these guys are walking him to presumably his death, they go through a set of little like office like saloon doors at waist height. And in what I can only describe as like a cocky bastard move, he like flicks one of them backwards to try and hit the guy behind him for no real reason other than to just annoy him. And the guy even like catches it and pushes it back out of the way again. But I thought that was very like closely observed.
No,
and I'm
it was
just
good.
like,
I was going to flag that, and I'm glad you did.
yeah. So we meet Marchange Draco, who is the head of the Union Corse, the largest criminal syndicate in the world after Spectre, and whose sole concern in this movie is the amount and quality of pipe that his daughter is getting laid.
And that's a king.
Genuinely, the thrust of this conversation,
I might want to disavow immediately, but like
the thrust of this conversation,
his daughter, the Contessa, the lady we've already met twice.
Tracy. Because that's why Bond's been getting his ass kicked every time he like interacts with this woman in any way, is because the guys who are kicking his ass are watching her to protect her. They're her bodyguards and sort of minders.
Oh yeah.
And the upshot of this is that Draco is like, you gotta fuck my daughter.
Bond, you crazy bastard, you gotta fuck my daughter. All right.
I'll give you the line. It's not any better when he says it.
I find her fascinating, but she needs a psychiatrist, not me.
What she needs is a man to dominate her, to make love to her enough to make her love him. A man like you.
That's not a Lazenby thing he can even do. I don't think.
That's her dad. That's her father.
As the sweetener, he offers Bond £1 million in gold on the day that he marries Tracy.
$1 million in gold to fuck my beautiful daughter. This is a very serious movie.
I've had many such of these kind of meetings, and honestly, they do start to get boring after a while.
All of us get offers like that all the time, and we all do what Lazenby does, which is go, yeah, nah, I like her, you know,
I'm a
you're sweet,
bachelor.
but
wink, wink. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, I really can't just. I'm not gonna fuck your daughter to make her cool.
To be fair, he basically does. He does say like, I like the bachelor lifestyle.
Yeah, he's like, no,
unless you tell me where Ernst Stavro Blofeld is.
Ernst Stavro Blofeld, where is he?
Stavro.
And so Draco is kind of coy about this, and he's like, well, I'll tell you if you come to have lunch with me and my daughter.
I'm so glad you said to have lunch with me after that.
I'll tell you about Ernst Stavro Blofeld if you make my daughter fucking come like she's never come before, George Lazenby. You must do this for me. And George is like, oh, I don't know if I could do that.
I need you. 007, I need you to do some fucking daddy dom shit on my daughter because I can't make her stop making reckless life choices. And so clearly the healthy thing for me to do is to like find like a hot guy and get him to do it.
I need you to eat my daughter's pussy. Do not clip that. Fuck.
I will give you
£1 million.
I will give you $1 million, Mr. Bond, to eat out my daughter. This is such a fucking normal guy.
My daughter, Diana Rigg.
Yeah.
If someone was like, yo, £1 million to eat out Diana Rigg, I'd be like, all right, when do I have to get you the money? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
I'd be suspicious. I'd be like, what's the catch?
Not now. I think she is dead. But
so Bond bargains him up. He's like, no, tell me about Blofeld.
Nice.
Diana Rigby hit me up. Anyway.
And so they have this sort of Corsican fiesta type thing. There's bullfighting. Diana Rigg shows up in a sort of like bolero jacket and like a hat. It's very cool. And she fucking stares down her weird dad. And she just fully calls him on this bullshit. Like, you're trying to get this guy to fuck me for some reason. That's a weird thing to do. And he's getting something out of it besides getting to fuck me. And her father's sort of like, well, you know. And so she gives him this ultimatum. You've got to tell him what you know about Blofeld or you're never going to see me again. which is like, I'm not going to say it's a healthy relationship, but it's a hell of a lot better boundaries than finding a random secret agent and trying to get him to fuck your daughter.
This is just another scene where
quite why Bond was selected for this pussy-based mission, I'm not sure.
Shows that.
Because they heard the new guy did that, whereas Connery did not.
Yeah, Lazenby does eat pussy.
Hey, you know what? Yeah. Willing to put the pin on that one 100%.
We get a montage now.
It's a lovely... Yeah, okay, so what happens here?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What happens here? Right, okay, no, we don't get the montage. There's a scene first. Okay, we want to talk about the M scene, because it sets up a bit I want to do. There's a scene where 007, he goes back to MI6 now, I think they finally admitted. And just walks into M's office, and M's like, bro, you gotta stop fucking wasting all your time looking for Blofeld. He's gone. All right, don't worry about it. And Bond's like, come on, man, come the fuck on, dude. I'm gonna find Blofeld. And he's like, no.
Operation Bedlam, this is called.
He's like, you can't do it anymore. So Bond walks out and immediately just doesn't have the balls to do it himself. But he talks to Moneypenny, and he's going, Moneypenny,
resign for me.
Moneypenny, I need you to tell my boss that I quit. I'm gonna go somewhere else. And so he goes.
I need you to tell him that I resign on principle.
So he goes. He starts cleaning out his desk,
which is another one of those moments where they're like, "Yo, you remember James Bond from the James Bond movies?"
They're trying to tie the actor back.
Is full of shit from previous Bond movies. Like he's got the rebreather from Thunderball. He's got the
he's got Honey Rider's
from
knife.
Yeah. All of this shit. So you don't need to tell me, hey, this is the same guy. I kind of got that from the fact that people call him James Bond and he wears a tuxedo and his code name is 007. Like, it's fine.
Also, he keeps name dropping on Her Majesty's Secret Service. He just keeps saying that shit.
So many
He's
fucking
also got
title
a
drops.
fucking picture of the Queen, which I suppose would be a normal thing to do for a secret agent, but it's fucking nonce shit. And he keeps just looking at it and saying shit like, sorry, mom. It's like, come on, man.
This is 1969, though, so the Queen is like absolute fucking smoke show.
The Queen era 1969. Also DM me, please.
007, I'll give you $1 million in gold to fuck this Queen.
Oh. I don't want to finish that line.
She is single.
Actually, the Queen era now DM me. Let's see what we got going on. We can work something out.
This is a thing where Moneypenny, we get some more stuff from Moneypenny in this scene, right? First of all, there's another weird line where they try and convince us that this guy is like the same Bond, right? Because he grabs her ass, and what she says is,
"Oh, James. Oh, only more so."
Same old James. She stares the camera down while she says this.
It's James Bond, but he's hornier now. Which, fine, I guess. Weird to make it explicit like that. But Moneypenny, not only is she much more into Bond than she had been previously, even though she was like pretty much the only woman who got to like express desire for Connery's Bond. Here, she's really like, she's gonna fucking jump him in the office. But
they actually have chemistry. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of when he's not being directed to grope her, he's like smiles and he's like, "Oh, Moneypenny, like England's like last line of defense or whatever." Like, it's actually quite sweet.
Yeah,
because again, George Lazenby can't act.
He's not acting. He's just being.
He's just a nice man.
Genuinely interpersonally nice.
Yeah, Moneypenny intercedes on his behalf, right? Because when he's trying to resign on principle, she just changes his thing to ask for 2 weeks leave instead. And then separately, I thought this was cute, both M and Bond are like, oh my god, thank you. I knew I didn't really want that to happen, but it probably would have done if you hadn't like intercepted my dumber impulses. And it's like, finally, Moneypenny gets some fucking recognition around here.
Without you.
For keeping the whole thing running.
So okay, snap cut back to the end of the scene with Tracy.
Portugal.
Yeah, montage time.
Shit. He approaches her afterwards when she's like crying in the car park because she's just done an extreme power move in front of her father, and that, you know, it's tough to do that kind of shit.
Oh sure. And again, this is Diana Rigg, so it's well acted.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. She turns around and it's like she looks distraught. The poor dear. And the intention of this is to show that now she believes that he is genuinely interested in her, because she previously thought that it was a transactional thing, but he was only interested in her to get at the information about Blofeld. But now he has that information and he's still interested. So she takes the walls down, and there's a montage set to All the Time in the World by
Louis Armstrong.
Right, Louis Armstrong. That's right. Thank you so much. And it's a very long montage of them just doing shit like riding horses and running around on the beach. And at this point, I was like,
they're doing the beach.
Kind of feels like it came from a different film.
They're doing the beach scene from OSS Sandy set. They're just playing paddleball together.
Like, this guy's got 2 weeks leave. How long does this take place over?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's meant to imply a whirlwind courtship, but like they could be doing this stuff back to back to back, and it would still like.
Well, there are 3 scenes that they edit together. There's one of them in the garden, there's one of them riding, and there's one on a beach. So I think it's like 3 days.
Well, you got to be fast about this kind of shit, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
You have all the time in the world.
Yeah, not so much.
So the information that Draco gives him is about a guy who I haven't written the name down of.
Gumboldt. A lawyer named Gumboldt.
That's not even the worst name we're going to have in
it's
this
not.
episode.
It's fully not.
Gumboldt.
Yeah.
So...
He's Blofeld's lawyer.
Yeah, Blofeld's lawyer.
Allegedly.
Which is so fucking funny that Blofeld has a lawyer. Like, just a guy with an office that he keeps on staff. It's like going to Blofeld's fucking accountant, you know?
It's very funny.
Blofeld, and Blofeld. He's in Switzerland.
There's this scene at the end of the love montage that takes place over 3 days where Tracy and Bond are sat in the car either side of Draco. Draco's in the middle of the back seat, and they're just fucking each other with their eyes the whole time.
He's fucking loving it.
He looks so sick of their shit.
He's like, I'm gonna be out $1 million soon.
and then they pull up to Gumboldt's building, and he does some actual spy shit.
Yeah, and he has to get someone to help him. The construction site across the street owned by Draco's organized crime group. And so he breaks in to this lawyer's office, and they use the construction crane to ship him up a safe cracking machine stroke photocopier
thing. Yeah.
He
has a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
A gadget.
He breaks into the safe. We have a sort of fun, sort of cringe bit of a moment where like he sets up his watch on top of the thing while it's working, cracking the safe, and then we sort of see him get bored, and we see him get more bored, so he like goes through all of the newspapers, and then he like gets hold of a copy of Playboy that was in this lawyer's office, and he's fully like opening the centerfold and just like woof.
Well, do you know why that is?
Because on Her Majesty's Secret Service, first serialized in Playboy.
Absolutely, and it was. So it was a nice little nod. It was a little bit weird to have Bond just on screen, just like fucking.
Yeah, like why not fucking show him jerking off?
Like his eyebrows are going. But it's a nice little nod.
Yeah. So Bond uses this massive photocopier to photocopy some documents, which show that Blofeld is having his lawyer write to the College of Arms in London, trying to get his hands on a title, the Comte de Blofchamp, French for Blofeld, I guess. Blofchamp. He also like when he leaves, he takes the Playboy with him, which is
cute.
Yeah.
For some of our 100,000 listeners who are not extremely English, would somebody like to give a brief explanation of what the College of Arms is?
This is what happens when you have too much feudalism left over in your society. The Queen is the fount of all honor, which is why he's like got a picture of her up in his office. And as such, she may be pleased from time to time to grant arms, coats of arms, things you put on a shield or a banner related to your genealogy, your noble house. And it's never really explained why Blofeld wants one of these things.
No, it genuinely is never explained. He just wants that shit. And at the end, M has a line that's just like, snobbery, innit?
Yeah, right? M remarks on how it's weird, but it's never really explained why.
Actually explain.
I mean, it is very funny that we have the sort of thing of a parasitical foreigner trying to infiltrate his way into the nobility.
Oh no, not the nobility. What will I do?
Now, so
what will happen if someone evil gets into that?
Yeah,
what
that's
happened
right.
if a Greek man happened to marry the princess of the country?
That's right.
To be fair, he renounced his Greek heritage, so whatever.
So Bond interviews a herald at the College of Arms to try and figure out what's going on. He also finds his own coat of arms, which...
Good motto, eh? The world is not enough.
Looking forward to never hearing that again. And he gets this guy to agree, hey, you can pose as me. Blofeld wants me to come to Switzerland and authenticate this grant of arms so I can then say he's the real Count de Blechamp. You can fully just like dress as me and pretend to be me and do that, and we'll get you some like homework to study up on armorial grants and stuff so you can sell this a bit.
This guy's name is Sir Hilary something.
Sir Hilary Bray.
Yeah.
Now, this will be important later. Not Scottish. He just sounds like an extremely posh English person.
Right.
Anyway, Bond goes to Switzerland where he is met by a couple of big henchmen and Irma Bunt, who...
Some names in this fucking movie.
Irma Bunt, which is genuinely like wrong aspect ratio Rosa Klebb. Like, same vibe.
Just wide Rosa.
What we wanted here was an austere, older German actor, and also, like, but wider. So, like, she flies him up to the top of a fucking Alp where Blofeld's Institute for Vaccines is, and genuinely, all of her lines are delivered like this, right?
I'll be glad to get my feet on the ground.
Not ground. Eyes.
Absolute
like fucking Mr. Freeze Arnold shit.
Not ground.
Not the ground.
Ice.
The ice. Also, something you might have pulled from that line just then. The voice you heard before Fraulein Bunt, that is not George Lazenby. In order to sort of show that he was a fucking sick spy, while he is in disguise as Hilary Bray, he is dubbed by Hilary Bray's actor, George Baker.
Yeah.
So he comes out sounding exactly like the guy he just had the
James
scene with.
Bond,
and everyone's like,
master of disguise. He's wearing the guy's clothes. He's wearing his glasses. He's wearing his hat and everything. He's smoking his pipe.
Yeah, he looks for all the world like Arthur Conan Doyle's fucking Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, but like if they had remembered to do this in You Only Live Twice, we would not have had a thing to pull for the promo for that episode. Because it would not be so funny that everybody who saw him like didn't realize that he was James Bond, because he's making an effort within the confines of the movie to disguise himself. And so he's taken to this sort of very impressive looking concrete construction on the very summit of an Alp called Piz Gloria. Whereupon he is like immediately locked in his room. And it's like, I'm not sure how I want to explain the vibe of Piz Gloria. It's kind of like kitsch almost.
It's baffling.
It's like something out of an Alex Rider book. It feels like it's a knockoff of James Bond.
I swear I was the only one who thought about Alex Rider. But
I 100% was like, this shit's point blank.
Yeah. It's like cheap James Bond.
It's a knockoff of itself, which is incredible.
100%.
Yeah.
Like all of the furniture and stuff is like sort of the same Blofeld stuff, the same supervillain stuff, like the doors with no handles that close on their own, but it's like covered in a layer of like alpine birch and stuff. And it feels very strange. Now, I mean,
strange is the word.
At this point, Bond has to meet the girls.
Oh my god.
The patients of the Allergy Research Institute. I want to say, every time they're on screen, and I pulled this at random, I pulled this from a later scene, but they just make what I can only describe as girl noises. So every time they're on screen, you'll just hear... Like, they don't really have a lot of dialogue, but the chatter is constant. Just to give you the sort of...
Can you play that again? I'm just taking notes.
Yo, shit, do I chatter like an AGB?
Incidentally, one of those girls, Joanna Lumley.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't...
Yeah, and so they are a sort of multicultural cast of all attractive young women, but and also for 1969 levels of multicultural, by which I mean there's a Jamaican one, an Indian one, and that's it.
Yeah. Let me read out the full list because I found it here.
Please.
12 beautiful women from all over the world. There's an English one. There's a Hungarian one. There is a Scandinavian one. That's
3/12 of the world's surface right there.
There's a Chinese girl, a Jamaican girl, an American, another English girl, an Indian girl, an Australian girl, a German, an Israeli, and an Irish. And all of these people, minus 2, are just fully credited as the Australian girl or the Israeli girl or some shit.
Well, that's actually just how the population of Earth was in 1969. I'm not going to check that, but I assume so.
I haven't double checked. I feel like all of the continents on planet Earth are accounted for here.
To more or less like 20% of Earth's population was English at that point, I think. Probably.
Well, I mean, technically, maybe. Certainly managed by the Crown.
So
Bond, by the way, is in full Highland dress.
This is
in this
why
scene
it's weird
and looks fucking ridiculous.
This was the abiding memory that I had from this movie. Right, I saw it when I was a kid, and the one thing that I remembered was George Lazenby in Highland dress playing a guy who is seemingly not Scottish. Like he's wearing the kilt, he's wearing the sort of like coaty thing too.
Sparran.
He's also playing Hillary as very gay.
Yes.
Just extremely homosexual. He's gone undercover as a gay man. And it's very weird.
Yeah.
What's also funny is that, like, because George Lazenby looks the way that he does in this movie, and because of the decisions they've made about Bond, every single woman at that table is trying to fuck him, even though he's doing his best to be, like, effete and academic.
He's literally doing everything he can to be unsexual. He spends
he tries to give them a lecture about genealogy.
Giving them a lecture about genealogy, yeah.
And then one of them fully, like, this is actually, if you count the sort of leaning like a Bond girl, the second instance of Bond being treated like a Connery Bond girl. One of them puts her hand up his skirt to write her room number on his thigh in lipstick.
God, that's... I mean,
pretty
need
cool.
someone to do that shit to me.
Pretty cool.
God damn. Which I guess is the reason why he was wearing a kilt in that scene. Because Hillary's not Scottish.
Yeah.
He's not Scottish. And then we should probably talk about why the hell they're all there.
Allergy treatment. So the meal that they get is like the shit that they're supposed to be allergic to. Like the girl who's allergic to corn gets like a plate full of corn. The girl who's allergic to chicken gets like a plate full of chicken.
I wrote that down. I was like, yes, I'll have the entirely unseasoned chicken, please. It's just literally just a chicken breast on a fucking plate.
Blofeld has allegedly developed a cure for allergies. And there's a funny line where, because he's playing Hillary as so gay, one of the girls says, I know what he's allergic to, which is quite funny.
Pussy. Yeah, I'm tricking Blofeld into thinking I'm allergic to pussy so that he'll hypnotize me to eat it better.
I mean, once again, still...
Sorry, Sorry, I should just cover that fucking base. I don't want to leave anything
he's
implied
still a
here.
fucking better spy because he's like changing a characteristic about himself. Connery Bond wouldn't.
God, imagine Connery trying to
Well,
be
he
gay.
changed his race.
Fuck, can you imagine Connery
Race is a
trying to be
characteristic.
gay?
All right, fine. Connery Bond might pretend to be Japanese, but he would never pretend to be gay.
You fucking imagine. I can't do the voice. I'm not going to do any bits here, but just
So Bond goes to meet Blofeld, and it's not Blofeld, man. I'm fine with
so fucking God.
I'm fine with changing Bond because he's the protagonist. I get that you can do that, but like, sorry, you set up Donald Pleasance in You Only Live Twice, and now it's Telly Savalas. And one thing that we know about Telly Savalas, the guy is not like a nerd, and that was Donald Pleasance's characterization in You Only Live Twice. Was this Blofeld guy? He's kind of a pussy. No, Blofeld in this one has big dick energy, and I don't appreciate that at all.
One.
Blofeld,
he's amazing in
He's
this.
really
He's
good.
so good. They should have got him from the start. He's fantastic.
Genuinely, right?
He's charming. He's like he's having so much fun, like just being an evil motherfucker.
They also-
it's so good. He's like confident. He's like, no, fuck you, actually, Bond. I've got all the angles covered. Like, suck my dick, asshole. Like, he's so good.
Just get this line though.
To begin with, I was born without earlobes.
Now, I should explain. This is supposed to be corroborating evidence for his like grant of arms, but it is very funny.
They also made the decision that he shouldn't just be carrying the cat 24/7.
No,
He's got like 2 or 3 scenes where he has the cat on his lap, but when he's walking around the place, he's not just like gripping it. It's just him, which is like maybe a good
But
choice.
it makes sense for him to be strolling around the place because he literally fucking owns it. And he's like, I'm fucking Big Dick Blofeld. I don't give a shit. Like, he's also jacked, but Lazenby's still just walking around.
Lazenby's fucking strolling.
Bond sneaks into this girl's room.
Bond.
yeah, but Bond sneaks into this girl's room where she is being. He discovers she is being hypnotized she's being sissy hypnoed by Blofeld, using a series of like cassette tapes and spooky disco lights to not be allergic to chicken anymore. I don't think that's how an allergy works, but whatever, that's
It is
fine.
not. But like, whatever. It's a Bond film. They're not going to get the science fucking spot on.
Also, when they're fucking, she's like, "But I thought you were gay," and he hits her with, "Well, I mean, normally I am, but you're special, and I think we have a real connection." And then after they fuck, and after he discovers this, he goes back to his own room to find a different one of the girls in there trying to seduce him, and he uses the same line word for word.
Same lines in order, and I was like, it's amazing they shot 12 of these scenes just back to back to back.
Like, it is fully like Fox and Henhouse stuff here, is that like Bond is just here to fuck every single one of these women.
Bond has gone undercover as a gay man and had sex with 2 women by the end of day fucking 1. Like, come on,
having fucking
effort
obtained sex by deception, Bond is like, but like, it's illegal, folks. Don't do it. But Bond,
it's legal if you're a
pulls
cop.
the shit. That is true. But well, I guess Bond is a cop, so
Bond
it's
is
fine.
a stupid policeman.
Stupid policeman, covered under the Covert Human Intelligence Sources Act.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Thanks, Keir.
anyway, yeah. Thank you, Keir. Bond, like, has sex with all of these women, convinces them that like they're the only one who has been able to like break through his homosexuality. But they're also all really into him, so it feels a lot less toxic than it might have done.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah, they are all like genuinely on board.
It's a bit fucking Centrinians is the thing, right? Like, it's kind of like girls' school sort of total institution thing. It's like, I would use the word naughty here, right? Is the vibe?
Yeah.
It's like an early noughties film where it's like, oh no, we've gone on holiday to summer camp, but we've accidentally booked into the girls' dorm. And he's just like fucking left, right, and center.
James Bond's Euro trip is
James Bond on like camp tour or some shit. It's ridiculous. Great. And it fades to black and then like comes back the next morning, and you're just left to assume that he's done that 12 times in sequence.
Yeah, he has a line the next day. He talks to a guard and he's like, "You have no idea how the work's piling up." As all of these women are looking at him like, "Do me." It's just like
they're also all they're
yeah. One of them comes by and says like, "I have to see you tonight," and he says, "I'll see you at 8." And then another one comes by and says like, "I have to see you tonight," and he goes, "How's 9 o'clock?"
How's
And then a
8:30?
third one walks past and like gives him the eye, and he just goes 10.
And you know what? Dude's rock. Fine. Fuck it. Come out and say it. George Lazenby once again. Strikes.
I'd like to award the Kronstein Rosette here. Out of nowhere.
Oh, fuck this guy. Yeah.
Since Bond arrived in Switzerland, he has been followed by like a kind of sweaty looking guy, as is classic, who tries to get onto the cable car going up to Blofeld's lair and is just like rebuffed by the guy who is like, "Nine, it's forbidden, it's closed, you cannot be in here," and like backs him out of there and locks the door.
This is Draco. This is Draco's man.
Like Campbell.
His name is
like
Campbell.
Oh, fuck, I'm so good.
And so he attempts to climb up the fucking mountain with crampons and an ice axe, is immediately detected, and like, despite having been shot at by these guys, essentially tries to conduct some sort of homeowner association neighborhood watch shit on Blofeld.
He tries to audit Blofeld. He's doing YouTube zone
like,
shit on Blofeld.
He's like, "Yo, am I being detained?" And Blofeld's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Oh."
The line that he has is,
The authorities will hear about this.
"What?"
The authorities did not hear about it.
The authorities do not hear about this because Blofeld fucking has him killed, right? But like, genuinely, we get a moment where he's just like hollering up at Blofeld like, "Hey, you can't push me around like this. This is a crime to climb an Alp." It's just
And they're like, "Yes, this is a private land." And
yeah,
he's like, "Oh,
yeah.
come on."
Did you not see the guns and the like henchman uniforms? Oh, the henchman uniforms in this are great, by the way. All of these guys are wearing orange ski jackets and like black fur hats.
I forgot the Olympic
which is,
rings on as well.
I don't know why.
Not sure. Maybe that was just leftover.
Well,
There's also
it's
a
time for
henchman.
Bond to get captured.
There's also a henchman
easily.
with a name.
Oh,
There is a henchman here who is
Are we gonna talk about our boy?
fucking geezer, and his name, ladies and gentlemen, is Grunther.
Grunther.
MF.
Naming my child Grunther.
This kid coming out the womb and the mum being like, yeah, that's a Grunther. I can see it.
I asked this. I asked this
The
before we
widest
recorded,
baby
but
you've ever seen.
is it funnier if Grunther is like their first and only child and the light of their lives, or if he's like the 10th one and they're in the hospital and the husband's like, "What do you want to call this one?" And the wife, after like an 18-hour labor, is like, "Fuck, I don't know, fucking Grunther or something. I don't give a shit. Fuck off."
I think it's cool. It's like a minor character from Beowulf. You know, it's like a
Grunther.
I thought it
Heroic
was
name.
Gunther, and they were like fucking up.
Nope,
But
it's Grunther. Every time. That's his name. Incidentally, the guy playing Grunther, that's the guy who got his nose broken by George Lazenby.
Oh, so he's got like an axe to grind.
Oh, that's
why
fucking
he's
awesome that they gave him that role.
That's
that
why
rules.
he's so good at looking like he fucking hates Bond.
Yeah, because the guy broke his
He's got
nose.
just a severe axe to grind.
You can see, once you know that, you can see that his nose has been broken fairly recently, right? It's out of shape.
Oh no!
Oh god, yeah, no, I can see. Oh no.
Now, this is the thing, right? We're now fighting for the Kronstein Rosette for best supporting character between
The authorities will hear about this.
and Grunther.
I'm putting my money down on Grunther. I'm sorry.
I mean,
gotta be.
Yeah.
No, well, to be fair, if
Abby, you've got casting vote here. I mean,
I was actually going to nominate Brunt because I just think that she's fucking great.
bro,
It might have to be a multiple award.
Damn, a three-way tie.
Yeah.
I'm willing to come across to Campbell, actually, because the point of the Kronstein Rosette is like underrated side characters who are like legitimately quite good, and his character is fun. He's got a couple of scenes where he's doing shit.
just kind of like stumbling into stuff and being like, "Hey, you can't push me out of here."
He's the
as
one.
he
Yeah,
is
he
being
deserves
pushed out of
more
somewhere.
credit.
He's the one who
He does deserve more credit.
ships the big fucking like copyright. What's it called? Type like copier
Yeah,
machine.
the photocopier.
Oh yeah, so he is. I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, it's that guy. So he's sort of been like shadowing Bond this whole time. So yeah.
Well, I mean,
Austin
mission
Rosette
accomplished to like
Campbell.
shadow him unobtrusively.
Yeah.
So Bond tries to fuck another one of these women and is immediately owned because it's Irma Bunt, everybody. And she jumps him and a guy hits him over the back of the head with a kosh, which is, I'm told, really good for your brain.
It's really impressive because it's the same one he had sex with the first time, Ruby, the English one, who incidentally 11 minutes and 20 seconds. Who he goes back into her room and it's clearly her in the bed. It's literally her in a bed. And he approaches her and then suddenly it's just fucking Fraulein Bunt. And I'm just like, holy shit. Bunt might be like some sort of witch or some shit like that, I'm pretty sure. This is like the fucking pinbacker bit in Sunshine where it's suddenly like, oh man, reality's falling apart a bit.
And I mean, Bond wakes up and just like as an example of the fucking big dick energy that Telly Savalas has as Blofeld, he like wakes him up with
Merry Christmas, 007.
and when Bond tries to be like,
Fucking love that
It's so
line.
good.
I'm Sir Hilary Bray, who is James Bond, he's just like, no, fuck off.
No,
Come
you aren't,
on,
King.
dude.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, and he breaks his fake glasses, which is very funny.
This is where we get to see what it looks like when George Lazenby is in a scene with like an actual really good
When he
actor.
gets just
He's been
circles
on
around
screen
him.
with Diana Rigg before, but yeah.
He's not only carrying this scene, he's like bench pressing this scene with ease. He's like doing flexes with like one hand with this scene. He's like curling the scene.
He's
Like
obliterating it.
Telly Savalas just like he's just kicking this scene's ass up and down, and it's beautiful.
So what does Blofeld like to do? Blofeld likes to fucking blackmail the United Nations.
yeah.
And what he's going to do is he has invented or discovered something which he calls Virus Omega. And behind him, we see Blofeld's lab, which contains two, what I can only think of now, thanks to Thunderball, as Bond wigglers. Two Bond wigglers full of flasks, just wiggling them.
Yeah. It's chemistry,
that's
baby.
That's how you
Wiggling all
discover
sorts of bonds. Covalent, ionic, whatever you fucking think of.
the chemical Bond wiggler.
Wiggling those bonds, baby.
Wiggle them up.
The Omega virus
that's
is simply
how science works.
a virus that has been sufficiently wiggled as to become very, very virulent.
That's what Lippy was trying to do to Bond. But, the Omega virus is some Children of Men shit. It will inhibit reproduction. It will cause sterility. And so, unless the United Nations accedes to Blofeld's demands, and again, Telly Savalas is just like, they're going to accede to my demands. He's loving this shit.
Yeah, he loves it.
He's eating
But
this
his
scene.
demands are quite fun.
He's chewing this scene.
His demands aren't. Like, Lazenby's like, how many hundreds of millions of pounds do you want this time? It's like, actually, I don't want that at all. What I want is complete amnesty for all of my crimes. First of all, that's A. So I want to like retire basically as a private citizen, and B, I want to be Count de Blochon. I just want the College of Arms
my title,
to just
baby.
give me that.
Yeah.
For no reason. It's just important to me. I just want it.
I want my weird thing that I want. Yeah, I'm ticking off the bucket list here, 007. I don't need money.
Getting out of the game.
I'm on top. I live on top of an Alp, man. I don't need $100 million. What I need...
I've invented chicken-based hypnotism.
Yeah. I've invented sissy hypno. I don't need money. What I need is legitimacy. And they're going to give me that because if they don't, I'm going to fucking destroy everything. And then he like locks Bond in the wheelhouse of a cable car. I don't know why. Did he does
have a good reason not to kill him this time. He actually does, because he's like, I could kill you, but on the off chance that the United Nations don't believe me when I tell them this, the fact that I've got you here to back me up will actually help convince them.
Enough.
So kind of.
Fine.
It's closest to a good reason anyone's had since Dr. No. So.
Well, also later on, when he's given the chance, Blofeld will just fully shoot at Bond, like without hesitating, which is what we were missing in You Only Live Twice. Sadly doesn't hit him, but yeah. So because Blofeld doesn't have a fucking broom closet or something, what he has is the wheelhouse of a cable car, which Bond clambers around and escapes out of. With the weird expedient of turning the pockets of his trousers inside out, ripping those pockets off and wearing them as mittens.
Yeah, very weird.
I don't know why you would do that.
The fastest Bond has ever tried to escape one of these rooms as well. Like, he doesn't even sit there for a little bit before having the idea.
No.
He like the door closes and he instantly clocks how he's going to get out.
Yeah. Whereas like Connery and Goldfinger is like waiting for a guy to show up, waiting for something to happen to him. And like, this is why it's one of the strongest scripts is Bond does stuff in this on his own initiative. He saves Tracy's life. He becomes interested in Tracy. He like,
he's not even working for MI6 at this point. This is him on holiday.
He's just doing this shit.
He's on Christmas vacation doing this. And so Bond sneaks out.
Yeah, it is canonically Christmas Eve.
And sees the various patients of this clinic open their Christmas presents from Blofeld, which contain a sort of a secret transmitter and a compact and an atomizer full of virus Omega. And so they're going to go back to their home countries all over the world. And then when they are sissy hypno instructed remotely by Blofeld, they're going to distribute this virus. I mean, this was used to pretty terrifying effect in the criminally underrated Channel 4 series Utopia. So, you know, I've nothing against this kind of bacteriological warfare plot. It's very
there you
good.
go. That's the plan.
Yeah, that's the plan. So
we get some more badly edited fighting, and then we get this scene, which starts off cringe, and by about 5 minutes in, I was clapping.
Yeah, the
skiing scene,
the cringe-based diagram.
Talk to me about this scene. Talk to me about this scene.
Well, Bond first of all incapacitates a guy. And then puts on a ski suit and a floppy hat and goggles. Again, the Lazenby fit's atrocious. And it's a fucking ski chase. As Thunderball was to the sea, this is to snow. They're just like, yo, you ever heard of snow? And so they drafted in a shitload of professional winter athletes to film all of this shit, including, most notably, there's an Olympic skier skiing in front of the stuntman playing Lazenby, skiing backwards holding a camera to film it.
Whoa.
It's so fucking cool.
Cool.
Not a great scene, but it's
so these guys, the henchmen in their sort of orange snowsuits are chasing after Bond in his blue one. They're shooting at him. None of them have. At
one point, one of Bond's skis comes off, and he's just on one ski.
He's skiing with one leg and balancing with the other. It's incredible.
The annoying thing is that this scene is very badly edited.
Yeah,
but in a weird twist, the more the scene goes on, the better the editing gets for some reason across this 5 minutes. So by the end of it, I was like, woo!
They're really getting their fucking... There's also a bit, where I don't know how to introduce this.
I love when you're about to do a bit because you do a little clap to like psych yourself up.
I've actually even like flagged that up in promos I've done before where I just go like, right. Right, brackets clap.
The dev clap.
Oh no, I don't want to... Sure. There's a bit he falls off. He's about to go off a cliff and he catches himself just in time. And like the cliff is so fucking far, you guys. You don't. It's an like this is a fucking massive cliff. And he pulls himself back from it. And her henchman is just coming down, and Bond fucking smacks the henchman with his ski, and he goes off the edge of the cliff. And it is 16 full seconds of falling, where it is 100.
It's like Wile E. Coyote.
100,000% just a fucking dummy strapped to skis. He's not moving. He's just perfectly sailing down in a ski position, just for way longer than you could possibly imagine it would go on for, and then he hits the ground, and it's like, cool, man. Thanks for that scene.
Yeah, it rules.
He does it again. It happens
Yeah,
twice.
he does this twice in a row. He
He's
strangles
well,
the guy
works.
with
Let's
a
try that again.
ski. Yeah.
Give that shit another go.
And he escapes down this Alp into a Swiss village where there is a kind of a festival happening.
Yeah, it's
There's,
like the
ice
Junkanoo
skating
of
and
Christmas.
stuff.
Swiss.
Yeah.
It's Christmas. It's a Christmas fair.
What?
It's a merry Bondmas, Mr. Bond.
What?
Now, I want to give you an...
You, Blofeld, what day is it? Why, it's Christmas Eve, Mr. Bond.
Disturbing news from Europe 007. We can no longer say Merry Christmas. We have to say Happy Holidays. It's political correctness gone mad.
I want to give you an example of the level of pastiche of Swiss stuff that we're doing here. Lazenby has a fight with a guy in a room entirely full of cowbells.
It's so funny. I
have the drop. The drop.
Yeah. He's
It's like that for 2 minutes.
He's trying to escape from Fraulein Bond, and he's like, all right, I'm going to nip into this room. He just walks in, immediately hits his head on a bell, and then backs up a little, hits his head on 8 more bells. At which point, the henchman know where he is. It's so good.
Bond makes mistakes in this, and it's quite cool.
really good.
Earlier on during the ski chase, he stops because he just falls straight on his face and eats shit. It's cool. It's cool that he's a person, you know?
Fallible.
Yeah. Now we have to have something implausible happen.
Yeah, Bear laughs at him for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Tracy shows up because she's in love with him right at this point, and
she's been following him. She's been shadowing him.
She has been better than Campbell has been.
It's been so long since we last saw her. I just wrote Diana in full caps on my notes.
She fucking rescues
just when
this
Bond
movie.
is oh shit, they're gonna well, she rescues Bond.
She does.
Because Bond is shit, you know, he's sitting on a bench hiding, but the henchmen are closing in, and then she skates up to him and she's I've got a car, James, I've been shadowing you, I'm gonna get you out of here. She saves the fucking day.
Incidentally, and as further evidence for my Bond brackets Tumblr daddydom ? He calls her
Good girl.
twice in this scene, just to really drive that little point home. Anyway,
But also he says something which I don't think I've ever imagined James Bond would say. He says, "Thank you, Tracy." Sincerely and genuinely, thank you. Saved my fucking life. Thanks.
Yep.
And it's wow, wife guy Bond.
We then have a very protracted car chase.
it's so fucking long. I mean, this is the thing. This is a 2.5 hour movie. That's why this episode can't be an hour long, is because it's the longest Bond movie until the modern, bladder destroying ones.
Jesus. Yeah, so this might be just strap in for this. Halfway through this car chase, they just sort of start doing NASCAR. I don't know what's going on. They just crash.
They drive onto a racetrack.
Yeah, they're on a racetrack.
That's happening on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, the traditional Christmas Eve stock car race.
Yeah, the Swiss traditional Christmas Eve stock car race. We're all aware of this.
Sure, fine, whatever.
In the Christmas myth, it's where Joseph couldn't get to Bethlehem in time, so he got in his stock car and fucking raced on down. It's very traditional.
By the way, I want to stress that Tracy is driving.
Tracy's driving.
Not Bond.
Yeah.
Tracy's
driving. He's just sitting there leaning over to kiss her occasionally.
Bond's just cool. Saying shit
which
this
is
girl.
Adorable.
Total inversion. Yeah, Bond is the Bond girl in this movie.
Femboy Bond,
I will
let's
be
go.
defending this thesis.
We need this.
Fembond.
Yeah. So they seek shelter from the storm, which comes down in a barn, and then Bond fully admits the thing that we've been sort of talking about this whole time.
An agent shouldn't be concerned with anything but himself.
And the fact that he is falling in love with her back is making him unable to do Bond shit, because the Bond shit requires him to be a sociopath, and he doesn't want to do that anymore. And so he fully proposes.
Bond pops the question. He says,
He
"Can
pops
I
the
be
question.
your wife, guy?"
Yeah, that's right.
And Ruth goes, "All right." And then,
Can I simp for you, Queen?
he says, Can I private message you, please, ma'am?
Yo, I just spent 5 days defending you. Can I get a hello?
Bond's like, yo, I did this fan art of you. I didn't know whether it was okay to send it to your business email.
Woo! I don't have a
boy.
business email.
It is okay.
You're not a fan of me. We're not friends. You're a fan of Abby.
What are you talking about? All of us are single. All of us are single. It's okay to have parasocial relationships with us. That's totally all right.
If you want to give me money, you can do that. But I'm in a relationship, and I'm not going to notice you.
You can pay my dad £1 million and need my pussy.
I
Like,
might
that's
notice
fine.
you.
I would be willing to accept £1 million to like have someone have sex with me. Maybe if they're extremely attractive.
I'm not going to be.
I mean, that
That's
seems
the
like
top
a good
Patreon
deal.
tier on the Kill James Bond
the
Patreon.
hidden one. If you can't see it, you can't afford it.
That's right.
Yeah, if you give our dads £1 million, we'll
I've had
fuck.
a bit, but I've been completely derailed.
They
sorry,
kind of
Dad.
like fantasize about what their life together could be like. Like she makes a joke, like Mr. and Mrs. James Bond of Acacia Avenue, Tunbridge Wells, and like
he doesn't have sex with her.
No,
he goes to, and then he's like, "Well, we should be doing this on our wedding night," and then they just go to sleep completely separately. And it's
but
like,
because he is a jammy bastard, he does like knock one of the supports of her bed out so that they end up in a cuddle. But they don't have sex.
They don't have sex. Can you fucking imagine Sean Connery? A,
I'm waiting until marriage,
and B, being like, "Oh, we shouldn't have sex right now." Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just it's genuinely good.
Yeah.
Like they have actual chemistry. She's carrying all of the scenes.
Again, Lazenby sells it because he's not acting. He's just nice.
Yeah, he's just in the presence of Diana Rigg, so obviously he just is deeply in love.
Of course he simps. We got more fucking ski chases to go through here.
Oh yeah, just
like
whip it through.
I'm going through my notes here, and it's like page after page of ski chase, ski chase, ski chase.
There's a bit in the ski chase where
Blofeld
a guy
is joined in. Blofeld is on skis himself, like shooting at Bond.
Imagine Donald Pleasance Blofeld doing that.
Well, that's why they swapped out, is because Donald Pleasance wasn't suited for the more physical aspects of the role. Is the language used?
Yeah.
There's a bit where a guy, one of the henchmen, falls into like a fucking wood chipper or a snowblower or some shit.
Snowblower, yeah.
And Bond's line is, "He had lots of guts," which is just a non sequitur.
The snowblower is now spraying bits of that guy out behind him.
It's not really anything anyone says.
Quite brutally, actually.
The goon after him like skis through that like arc of guts.
One of these days, I'd like someone to die in a weird way, and Bond to just be like, "Fuck, what the hell?
Shit.
Holy shit!
What the
That guy's fucking dead."
So they, in order to escape from Blofeld and his men, they ski into a big, clearly marked avalanche zone. And then Blofeld does my favorite piece of human resources work I've seen him do, where he's like, "Right, you three go on ahead and get after them. I'm gonna set up a fucking avalanche."
And he loves it. He loves it. He sets
himself
up an avalanche and he's just grinning like, "Oh, fuck yeah, I
None
love
of
doing
those
this shit."
three guys are like,
Are you sure, boss?
"Do you want me to hang back a bit if you're going to set off the avalanche?"
Again, only employs perfect himbos who are just like, "Okay, boss.
Okay, boss." Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And then they just get killed in an avalanche.
They get killed in an avalanche.
Initially they say no, but then Blofeld's like, "If you don't do this, I'm going to give you 4 stars on Hench instead of 5.
Actually, Abby, there is a bit, right, where Draco seems to suggest that the Hench app is real, because in the first instance where Bond asks him about Blofeld, he's like, "Yeah, some of my men defected to him." And it's like, so you are telling me that there's a job market for henchmen
Yeah,
here.
it's like, how would you defect to him? What would the process of that be?
You have to go and get interviewed by Blofeld. Yeah. So this avalanche happens. All 3 of those guys get killed. Tracy gets knocked unconscious and captured. And Bond is, I guess, incapacitated.
I mean, they literally say something like, "Well, no way 007 could have survived that." And then like a scene later, it's like, "Well, fuck."
Yeah, he's back at MI6 headquarters. And of course, he's like, "Yo, this girl saved my life. We should, and also I know where Blofeld, this guy we've been looking for, the guy who had the like nuclear bombs, the guy with the virus to destroy. I know where Blofeld is, that guy, and M is like,
We just leave her there.
This department is not concerned with your personal problems.
what?
Hey, look, he's in Switzerland on purpose.
M says that the UN have already decided that they've received Blofeld's demands, and they're like, we're gonna fucking give in, because like the stakes this time, it's not just one city, it's like all life on Earth, Bond. If this virus gets out, he's like, yeah, we are satisfied that it's real, and we are giving in, because all he wants is his criminal record expunged and a title. Like, we give people who donate £10 million to the Tory party that. It's easy.
Yeah, really, you didn't have to invent the virus.
Now,
should have just given us some PPE.
Surely the cost of a fucking Swiss mountain base is less than just paying off the government.
You would think so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but at this point, we cut back to the Piz Gloria, where Blofeld is, again, having too much big dick energy because it's Telly Savalas. He's putting the moves on fucking Diana Rigg. He's trying to cuck Bond.
God, imagine.
Just because he wants to cuck him.
Fun.
He just wants to do it.
He just wants to. He just wants
She's
to do
playing
it.
along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Bond, because MI6 refused to help him, he's had to go to Draco. He calls up Draco to get his help, but George Lazenby's accent slips when he calls him up, and he goes really Australian. He's like, Draco, mate, you gotta fucking help me out and kill Blofeld.
Fucking Blofeld's coming from the Aston Mine, you.
Fucking Bill Shorten's trying to abolish the weekend, Draco. Need a bit of help here if you're Australian. I apologise profusely.
Good morning, Draco.
Oh, you big dickhead.
Anyway, long story short, Draco and everyone, they attack the base.
Yeah, they attack the base with a brief comic interlude where they're flying in like fake Red Cross helicopters, and Draco just like brass balls his way through air traffic control. Like,
he does really well, yeah.
So like air traffic control are calling him like, what are you doing? We don't have any records. And he's like, well, maybe you should check your records again, bitch. And it's like he goes back and forth this way until he's able to like talk down the Air Force.
Yeah, he says some
just,
shit like, yo, we've got
them
journalists in here and they're all filming you, idiot. What are you gonna do? You gonna do something? And they're like, fly away.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to cast any sort of judgment on the professionalism of the Swiss Air Force, but Switzerland is like 30 minutes wide if you have a jet. There's only so long they can still be in Switzerland for.
Yeah. Anyway, they attack the base.
Yep, cool gunfight.
Lazenby's strolling around the place.
Lazenby
they rescue Tracy.
There's a bit where Lazenby is like fully sliding across like an icy path on his stomach, firing a submachine gun the whole way.
What is it? It's
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a skeleton bob.
Yeah.
Or a luge.
Yep, there's a bobsled.
The shit where you throw stones.
Curling.
Yeah, he's sliding along a curling thing because the Angels
it's a
of
curling
Death
thing.
were
Okay,
previously
fine.
playing curling there.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
smart.
sliding
That makes
along
sense.
that, fully shooting a fucking fully automatic rifle.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in this. Like, whenever there's one of these, you see a bunch of weird old guns like the gyro jets in You Only Live Twice, or in this case, another henchman classic, the Sterling submachine gun, where the magazine comes out sideways. So you just see a bunch of guys holding it at like hip level with their other arm way out here on the magazine, just spraying everything. It's cool. Yeah, Draco's men.
Tracy is like, I'm going to go back for Bond. You can't keep us apart. And her father just knocks her out.
He's such a normal man with a normal relationship with his child. And when we say knocks her out, he fully like uppercuts her.
Yeah, he straight up, his own daughter, he just shoryukens her. And it's like, dude,
special dad attack.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Draco's men, they blow up the base, but I've made a note here. I think they planted the explosives in the wrong spot because they accidentally explode a miniature of the base. There's a very unconvincing miniature which they blow up instead.
I do that.
The actual restaurant, which they in large part built for this movie, is still there. I've been there. The restaurant's not bad. The rest of it is a tacky Bond museum now.
You've been there.
Anyway, it's more snow chase this time.
It's the location of our first live show.
That's right.
The location I first met Abby.
Yeah, at the TF live show, the Pits Gloria. James chases Blofeld down the slopes, culminating in them having an insanely dangerous to film fight on a bobsled.
Oh, and it's going fast too.
It's fucking going.
I have been on a bobsled. Like, I've actually done it. They go about 70 miles an hour. And, like, you cannot, like, turn around or stand up. You can barely even fucking move your neck in those things.
And they're having a fist fight.
The idea that they would be having a gunfight or a fist fight. At one point, Bond comes off his, but grabs onto the back of Blofeld's bobsled, which would have just ripped his fucking shoulders off. Like, but anyway, they have this, like, genuinely quite exciting bobsled fight.
Yeah, Blofeld is, we think, killed. He is struck by a tree branch extending across the bobsled track, which seems like a totally safe thing to have.
And should have trimmed that back.
Hits him in the neck.
I mean, that's a kill.
And he's like lifted off the thing. Incidentally, Telly Savalas did this stunt himself because every stuntman who tried got horribly injured.
Oh my god, he's so cool.
Wow.
He did it fine. So
Telly Savalas, baby.
Right? Jesus.
Yeah,
anyway.
There's a weird directorial decision in this very exciting bobsled chase. There's no music.
No.
It's just all...
They do that sometimes in the action scenes. In the second fight, the one in the hotel room, there was no like, music either, which is interesting.
Yeah, which coupled with the bad green screen and the very bad ADR, it's
not great. It's really the worst of all worlds.
In terms of technical competence, this film is really a step down.
But we smash cut back to Portugal because Blofeld having been killed, Bond's fucking, he's out. He's quit. He's not 007 anymore, and he's gonna get married.
Yeah, they're just calling him Commander Bond all the time instead of any like 007 or anything.
Yep.
There's a nice touch where the henchman who he beat up in the hotel room at the start is one of the wedding guests.
Yeah, because that's one of Draco's guys.
It's quite cute.
So just there.
Yeah, it's quite
nice.
cute.
Like
Emma's there, Q is there, Moneypenny is there, and she's crying because, you know...
They have a genuinely very touching moment where Bond is about to get in the car, and Moneypenny's sad, and he gives her this little wave, and it's like,
oh, he throws her his hat for old times, and she catches it, and it's like...
Q's there, and he's like nice to Bond. He's just like, you know, I know we don't always see eye to eye 007, but if you ever need anything, you know, you can always rely on me.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, this is so nice.
Exploding car, 007.
007, if you ever need...
007, if you ever need a divorce in a speedy fashion, I have this flamethrower concealed.
But Q is like, 007, I know I always tell you to bring back your equipment in one piece, but tonight, you can destroy that pussy, 007. You've earned it, my man. Q's like drunk.
Yeah, he's doing the electric
Draco
slide.
tries to give him £1 million, and he's like, I'm good.
Yeah, he hits him with
well.
Proverbs 31:13. Her worth is greater than rubies.
God, it's just nice. Also, there's a scene
Bond as a character
back
with character growth and depth.
Yeah,
no, it's so good.
It's amazing, unbelievable.
Very nice. There's also like a really gentle scene with M, like way back, where Bond goes to M's like actual house, his mansion or some shit, and he's like, he just has like a very genuine heart to heart where M is just talking quite quietly, and he's like doing like butterfly shit, hitting him to a board.
He's a lepidopterist,
and Bond says the name of it. Bond says a fake butterfly name and goes, "Oh, that's pretty big for a whatever the fuck." And the actual butterfly it is pretty normal size for it, but whatever. Which I did recognize because I'm a cunt. But I was like, this is just like genuinely nice. There's so many gentle and humanizing scenes with Bond in, and that is simply because of what you said earlier, Alice, which is that someone keeps flipping the big sociopath switch on the back of his head to off.
Well, Bond
anyway, that ended happily ever after. Thanks for listening to Kill James.
Bond having character growth and having depth and having agency to like move the plot along in his own interests.
I'm really excited for the rest of the George Lazenby movies. Like, if this is a start, it's going to be so good.
It cannot be allowed to happen, and so she has to fucking die. Blofeld and Irma Bunt conduct a drive-by shooting in which Bond is uninjured, but Tracy is killed instantly. And Bond does not realize this at first. He's like, that's Blofeld. He gets back in the car to try to chase after them, and then he realizes that she's been shot. And the bit where it's the first time Bond cries, and until Skyfall was the last one, a cop finds them. He's like cradling her body, and he's just like,
It's all right. It's quite all right, really. She's having a rest. We'll be going on soon. There's no hurry, you see. We have all the time in the world.
It's genuinely harrowing.
right?
It's such a true character moment.
That is how the book ends. It's lovely.
Incidentally, I have an acting fact about this, which is that the way Peter Hunt got George Lazenby to do this was to call him in for the first take of this at 8 a.m. and to keep doing it until 5 p.m. And the last take that they shot was the one that they kept, because by that time he was exhausted. And it just kind of works, right? So you could force this guy into sort of acting if you just sort of gave him enough of a sort of a physiological imperative. But like, I want to sort of circle back to Lazenby as we kind of draw this to a close here. And we kind of think about what all of this means, right? Because Lazenby can't act, and playing Bond is, I mean, Roger Moore said that it wasn't acting, right? Like you can do a lot of sort of physical stuff, you can do a lot of stunts, but like in terms of like emotions and whatever, there's not a lot going on there. He's kind of a cipher. He's not a very interesting character to play, and in some ways, I think quite a frustrating one to play. And I think it's very interesting, right? The ways in which both Lazenby Bond works and the ways in which it doesn't are both reflections on just like, that's just what George Lazenby is like. Like the bits where you go, oh, that's a perfectly done, like, smug, cocky bastard. It's because that's what George Lazenby was like. The bits where you go, oh, but he's got a surprisingly sort of like altruistic and nice side. It's like, well, no, because that's actually what he was like. That's just the guy.
That's George Lazenby in spite of the script, delivering like genuinely quite humanizing moments, just because he's like genuinely a nice guy. And I've made the joke a few times, but this is the only George Lazenby movie, so this is our only opportunity to talk about who he is and what he brought to the Bond films.
And it's interesting, right? Because part of the reason why it's the only Lazenby movie, part of it was him, right? His agent, Ronan O'Reilly, better known as the guy who started the pirate radio station Radio Caroline, convinced him, this James Bond shit, it's like yesterday's news. It's not going to keep going. It's about to be the 70s. And in the 70s, it's going to be peace and free love and optimism, and you don't need to be doing this tuxedo shit anymore, because like it was dated when Sean Connery was doing it, and that's like convincing. It goes against the odds that the Bond franchise has persisted as long as it has, and so partly because Lazenby was kind of this cocky model, he managed to alienate a lot of people by just kind of being a bit of a dick on set.
Well, it's not even just that, is that he was left intentionally alienated by the director, by fucking something Hunt.
Peter Hunt.
Peter Hunt. He was like people were told just not to interact with Lazenby while he was on set, because Hunt figured the more isolated he felt, probably the better he would be at playing Bond, who is categorically a sociopath. And it's like, fuck, I wouldn't want to come back to a set if I was just treated like shit as a matter of course. Sorry, I interrupted you, Arabi.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. There was a public interview that Diana Rigg did when Lazenby quit, where she's like, she says, if he can kind of suffer to do an apprenticeship, which everybody has to do. And it's like, that's so revealing that you think, well, I got treated like shit for years and years and years and years. So clearly, if he doesn't want to, he's being too proud, right? And I think that says a lot about the way in which actors sort of thought of their profession in 1969. It's just like, it's a rite of passage. You have to go, and especially for Diana Rigg as an actress, Jesus, I mean, God only knows. But
I mean, some actors still think of it that way. I think the pivotal mistake in this is a story beat. I think if they had set up the fact that James Bond is a code name and this is the new guy, and everyone keeps trying to put these expectations of what it is to be James Bond on him, but he saves the day by doing it his way and by being nice and personable, that would have really played to his strengths. That would have been a really great move, because the best bits of this are where he is, in spite of the script, just being nice as George Lazenby, and the worst bits are when he's like trying to do an impersonation of Sean Connery and it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Now, I mean, I have...
But anyway, that's an unscientific viewpoint, and that's not what this podcast is about.
One more thing about probably why he left is that, I mean, the reason why Connery left is the British tabloids, which were absolute rag trash papers populated entirely by cunts and bastards. And I don't know what they're like now. I haven't checked. I assume they're way better now. We're talking shit about him constantly. Whereas now, the failing New York Times, the reason why Lazenby wanted to quit, part of it was the notoriously harsh, and I'm reading the language here, notoriously harsh British tabloids were just writing unfavorable stories about him and how he failed to measure up to Connery to like sway public opinion against the movie before it was even released. There's one particular incident, which is during an interview with a reporter, Diana Rigg yelled across the room. She was like leaving and Lazenby was still doing the interview. Something like, "I'm having garlic for lunch, darling. I hope you are too." Just an offhanded fucking statement. But this led to an article in which it was just described that, Rigg is supposedly, she hates Lazenby so much that she eats garlic before love scenes. Like this just tabloid slap, this slock fucking shit that just was like, well, fuck, I don't want to deal with this. So
I mean, he pushed back, and part of the reason why he became persona non grata with Eon so quickly is that when he did the premiere, he showed up he wore a tuxedo, right? But he had grown his hair out, he had grown his beard out, and they told him, no, we want you to look like James Bond, and he told them to go fuck themselves.
Because he wasn't going to do another. He'd already said he wasn't going to. He signed a 7-movie contract, including...
Which is a little bit hauntological, right? Like, imagine the Lazenby Bond 70s as opposed to more, right? And it's very different.
He signed a letter of intent to star in Diamonds Are Forever. So, like, he pulled out of this after having said, yes, I will. Which is probably why part of why he became persona non grata. And you know what? Fucking fair on him. You shouldn't ever let him force you to do a second movie.
That's
Sometimes
exactly right. George Lazenby, anti-work activist.
George Lazenby, one in the barrel. All I need, baby. Yes. See you later.
Yeah, that's right.
Golden gun.
I've done an objectively pretty bad movie. It's time to dip.
I admire George Lazenby so much.
You're right,
we are about to decide how objectively bad it is, because we have a science-based system. On the scum, that's SMARM, cultural insensitivity, unprovoked violence, and misogyny scale out of 007. How do we rate this film for SMARM? I'm inclined to say pretty high because of that beluga line.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? Every time he says something hugely smarmy, he then manages to undercut it with a sense of genuine vulnerability later on. And I don't know if those things cancel each other out or not. If they don't, then I think it's high.
It's the one opportunity that we have for them to cancel each other out, because it's not like any of the fucking later ones do that shit.
No.
Fair
so
point.
I would say, just and maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm biased towards George Lazenby himself. But
yeah,
like,
this guy who we all love.
dude, the man himself rolls in, does a movie, leaves. Fantastic. Also, there's a bunch of photos of him, if you look it up, in like the 70s, where he had a mustache and very long hair, and he looks phenomenal.
Oh my god. Yeah, I just want to think about George Lazenby in like the brief period in between like coming off of this high and the destruction of his career that was orchestrated by all of the people that he pissed off doing that. Just living his best life with the like mustache and the sunglasses. That's fucking, I feel like a fucking Mountain Goats song about that, you know?
Fantastic.
I'm going to say that it cancels out. How do we feel about a 1 or a 2? Can we go that low?
I think we could. I think so.
I'm willing to hit it with a 2.
Yeah, 2.
2? Cultural insensitivity.
Well,
he's only hanging out with Swiss guys. He didn't really have any chances to do anything. I mean,
a guy named, what was he going to do? Be racist to a guy named Grunther?
What the fuck was called Grunther?
It's culturally insensitive because it says that German-speaking women are all kind of like wide, short-haired battle axes.
It's also noteworthy in that neither of the two major enemies, neither Fraulein Bunt or Blofeld, died in this, because both of them were supposed to come back. Unfortunately, Ms. Bunt's actress died tragically,
which means
only a little bit afterwards.
In the continuity of this, it means that Bunt fucking kills Bond's wife and gets away with it.
Yeah.
Never see her again.
Cultural insensitivity also going to be pretty low then.
I think it might be.
Even a 1. I genuinely cannot think of a line.
Miss anything, but
I think it. Yeah, it may be a 1. Like, and that's security because we can't like give it a 0 and say that it's unproblematic. But
a fucking 1, boys.
Unprovoked violence.
Well,
I mean, he slaps a woman, but that maybe comes under M. So unprovoked violence.
He slaps a woman. He well, the snowblower, but then he didn't really orchestrate that. That just happened behind him.
That was provoked. He was being chased.
Also true. Yeah, He doesn't like. This fucking podcast is not well suited to talk about a movie where it doesn't do any of our 4 things.
Maybe I think this is another fucking 1.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's pretty provoked.
He's provoked every time. Okay.
Let's give it a 1.
Now, so far, that's 4. And that's
we're about to like ruin this clean slate, however, because
so there's things to discuss here, because he does slap Tracy. He does slap Diana Rigg. He assumes that she has done something to slight him and uses violence against her, which is unforgivable just as a fucking fact. But he is also the only Bond that we have seen so far that's actually in any way tender towards any women ever. He gets married. He cries over the corpse of his fucking wife. Like, this is...
He says thank you.
I'm also...
He smiles.
I think I have a thing here, right? I think we've been sort of too skewed by Connery being such a cunt to every woman that he meets that now we think, well, this level of misogyny is like, we feel some affection towards him. I'm not saying that affection is misplaced because I fucking love the guy, but listen, doing the fucking the office sexual harassment seminar shit that he does to Moneypenny, where he's just like, "Hi, how's it going? I'm gonna grab your ass." Not acceptable. And
he also finds out that those women are being hypnotized and how they're against their will, and continues to have sex with them, which.
Completely right. Yeah, we've been acclimatized to fucking.
That's right. That's what I was worried was going to happen. Was that we would we would try and fucking change the system from the inside, and instead Bond would change us. That's what I'm scared is happening here.
We've gotten so used to such fucking nuclear tier misogyny that just common garden misogyny is now flying under the radar.
Yeah.
However,
we have absorbed the cultural values of the 1960s.
I can't go higher than 5 on this one, personally.
I worry.
Well, we gave Dr. No a 3, so how do we feel about a 3 or a 4?
I'd go 4.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
which gives it a total score of 8, which still makes it objectively the best Bond film this podcast has watched.
That's right. People keep saying this, and
Neil.
I have a question, right, to close us out with, which is, people really seem to critically reassess this movie. Like, it did pretty well at the box office, but it got slated by, as we mentioned, the famously good and normal English tabloid press. But my question for my fellow co-hosts here is, how much do we think of this movie's sort of critical rehabilitation is because it's actually good, and how much do we think is like film hipster stuff, being like, oh, it's this one Bond, so we never got to see any more of him, and I actually think it's quite good because I'm being a contrarian.
Well, it's not good. Just out the fucking gate.
It's not good. Technically, I'm afraid, as a piece of technical filmmaking, a lot of it is terrible.
If you go onto the Wikipedia page for this and you look at the reception thing, you'll find quotes from people who are like, yeah, it's the only cinematographically interesting Bond movie, which is a joke.
People love to use the word cinematographically when they're about to say
it's interesting in the same way that, like, a freak of nature is interesting. It's interesting in the way that, like, The Room is interesting, but, like, I mean, the editing in this, sorry to keep harping on it, is atrocious. Like, the 180 rule, fucking 360 rule is fucking thrown out. We're fucking filming up and down on tripods, where different angles, where the continuity's out the window. Like, it's a nightmare.
It all looks like the cowbell thing sounds.
Yeah. All the ADR was recorded, like, in a toilet. It's terrible.
It's not good.
No. Now,
my analysis.
I do have a drop which I didn't get to use that I want to use to close us out, that is Blofeld saying vaccines, just to be topical. So, thank you for joining us as we explored season 2, soon to be followed by season
1
again of Kill James Bond, where we explored the entire tenure of objectively the best James Bond actor, George Lazenby.
There are special vaccines to be prepared. Vaccines which must be modified to suit each individual case.
Thank you for listening to what I can only assume will be the first of many episodes with our boy, the man, the myth, the legend, George Lazenby. Kill James Bond will return in 2 weeks' time with Diamonds Are Forever, starring, I can only assume, George Lazenby, with special guest Pierre Novelli. But if that is simply too long for you to wait to get that hot, fresh Kill James Bond content, you can subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/killjamesbond, all one word, to get next week's bonus episode, which is on the movie Top Secret, by the creators of Airplane and Police Squad. Speaking, of course, of our beautiful patrons, special thanks to our £15 and above patrons, and those are Jack Holmes, Paint McCalla, Nikki, Kentucky Fried Commie, Amanda Rogda, Timothy Pajorni, Valaith, Larrykins, Jack Bushell, Amanda Comet, Josh Simmons, Elizabeth Cox, Alfredo, Jonas Schwamberger, Zoe Shepard, and Raul Leal. Thank you with all my heart. This has been Kill James Bond, starring Alice, Abby, and Devon. Our producer is Nate Bethay, and our podcast art is by Matt Lipchansky. See ya.